You know when you're watching all those UK, US movies, series, and they'll be like, oh yeah, I have a part-time job. I'm going to my part-time job. I'm going to my part-time job. See, Russia is not like that. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time tuning in, I'm happy to have you here. My name is Agnes and I'm a medical student studying in Russia. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. I'm happy you're here and I'm happy you keep coming back again and again to my channel. Thank you so much. So today, I'm going to be talking about the culture shocks or the difficulties I have faced as a foreign student studying in Russia. First, okay, so let me just put out a disclaimer, okay? I'm not trying to discourage anybody who wants to come and study medicine or study in Russia. I'm just going to be sharing my experiences, and these experiences are peculiar to me. So that needed to be done. So without wasting much time, the first thing I would like to talk about that hits me was the language barrier. Well, while as in Nigeria, I was just talking, whenever people ask me when I was still planning to come to Russia to come and study, I was like, is it not the language? We will learn it. How many minutes? So far, I was able... Let me tell you people, I was studying Russian in Nigeria. I started studying the alphabet. That was how eager I was. I was studying the alphabet in Nigeria. So before I came, I could actually write some like their A, their B, their C. So it wasn't so strange when I came. So when I came, I told myself that under 1 year, I must speak this language. So we started having Russian classes now. We're going for classes. I was taking my classes seriously. It's called PATFAC. That's like pre-med. Not pre-med per se. So that's like the Russian preparatory class that you have to take, PATFAC, where they teach you Russian. If I say Ruski, just know I'm talking about Russian. I prefer to call it Ruski. I'm used to calling it Ruski. So that should be the first word you're learning, you know, if you don't know it already. So we were going for those classes, right? We were having PATFAC classes. First year pass. I did not speak Russian. I would be picking out one word from the conversation. The only thing I knew how to say was da. Da is yes. Niet is no. So whenever somebody, maybe a Russian, speaks Russian to me, in that first year, the only thing I would just be saying da. Everything was da, niet, da, niet. Even if you're not understanding it, I don't know. I don't know if it was just me who did that in first year, but that was one thing. The language barrier is real, like it is real. And now I'm in fourth year and my Russian is a bit better. Like it's way better than it was in first year. At least I can have conversations, but it's still not as good because I study in English, I don't study in Russian. Let me use that as a big excuse. I study in English and I don't study in Russian. So I don't have much time to actually talk to people who are Russians or people whose Ruski is that good. So if you plan on coming to Russia and you want to study in Russia, there are two mediums that you can actually study in. You can either choose to study in English or you choose to study in Russian, and they both have their advantages and disadvantages. Okay, maybe in a later video I will talk about that, but you just have to know that there is a language barrier. The next thing I faced was the fact that I had to adapt to the new weather. You know, I'm just thinking about this thing and this illustration is coming to my head. When two people are falling in love for like the first time, it's just like, okay, they can overcome any obstacle. They're just moving forward. They're like, we want to be together. That was how it was for me when I was still in Nigeria. I was like, coming to Russia, when I heard that Russia is cold. Prior to now, at least I've been to other countries. I've been to other countries. I've been to one country that is also cold, but I didn't expect. I was like, after all, I've been abroad before, so like, what's the big deal? It will not be different. But Russia is cold. It gets cold. It gets really cold. Let me tell you an experience. When I was coming from Nigeria in 2019 or 2020, no, not 2019, not 2020, 2019, I remember. I remember my mom got me some winter jackets from Nigeria. You know those, I don't know how, but she was just like, somebody told her Russia is cold also, I have to go with this jacket. And I said, okay, no problem. I took the jacket that she bought for me. From the airport, Domodedovo airport in Moscow, the first thing that welcomed me was the breeze. I came in January, and January is like the peak of the winter, so it was so cold. The shoes I was wearing were not winter shoes. Oh, I remember that night when I came to Russia. It was so cold, like really cold. And I was just coming from the airport. The jacket I was wearing was not warm enough. I want to say, to the glory of God, I felt sick. I felt really sick because of the cold. But after some time now, I am now like more like adapted to the weather. You know how to dress, you learn how to dress warm and get like really thick jackets. Don't tell yourself you're going to bring a jacket from Nigeria. Nigeria is a hot country, and the jackets there that we wear as jackets, here they wear it as inner jackets. So don't deceive yourself. Just wait. When you come to Russia, you buy a jacket from Russia. That will serve you well. And then another thing that you should know about the weather is when you come to Russia and it is cold, maybe you have frostbites. Frostbite is like, how do I explain it? In a hot country, when there is so much heat, people have heat strokes. I think I have to explain that. I'll put the definition up in the screen. But in a cold country, when there is so much cold and you're not wearing hand gloves, you're going to have frostbites. Your fingers, like the blood vessels in your fingers, are going to constrict and be so numb. So for me, coming from Nigeria, I felt like, okay, if I'm coming from Nigeria now, if in my normal sense, if your body is cold, to make it warm, you will go and put your hands inside hot water. Don't do it. Like, don't do it. I repeat, don't do it. If you do that, you may actually have serious injuries on your hand when you have frostbite. It is something you should expect if you're going to be in Russia or you're coming to Russia. If your hands are really cold from outside, when you come inside the room or when you get to a warm place, put your hands under, I would advise, cold or warm. Not warm. It should not be too hot. It should just be normal, like room temperature. Don't go and use hot water. Your hand will just... The next thing I'll talk about is, I felt like when I was coming to Russia, I felt like there are a lot of job opportunities. You know, when you're watching all those UK, US movies, series, and they'll be like, oh yeah, I have a part-time job. I'm going to my part-time job. I'm going to my part-time job. See, Russia is not like that. It is not like that. Honestly, I thought that when I come to Russia, I'm going to be working as a student. Right now, prior to now, it was not allowed for you to actually work with a student visa, but now I think the government actually allows it. But even if you want to work, being a medical student and working, that's not so easy. I'll be honest. It is not so easy, but there is nothing you cannot do. If you set your mind to do it, you can. There are other like menial jobs you can actually take up during the summer. Maybe I'll talk about this in another video probably, but there are actually some things you can do, but they are very limited. One thing that will really help you is if your Russian is good, you could actually teach English. And yeah, I've actually taught English a couple of times, and that's like more convenient for someone who is a student. But getting an office job, it's not so easy, I'll be honest with you. So just note. Then the other thing that I actually faced was the fact that I'm away from home. I don't have so many friends. Not like I don't have so many friends, but you're away from your family, you're away from your loved ones. Sometimes it gets lonely. If you're a social butterfly, then it's easy for you to actually catch new friends, meet new people, get to know new people. But if you're someone who is introverted, you're gonna be lonely. But then I'd advise maybe you go to somewhere like a church. A church is a good place for you to meet new people, socialize, and get to know people. Go to church. You'll meet good people there. And for me, I miss home. I miss my mom. I miss my dad. I miss my siblings. I really miss home. I miss home, truly, to be honest. Since I've been in Russia, I've not gone back home, and I miss home. I miss home a lot. Talking about it now, I actually realized I miss home. There was a day my younger ones called me, and I feel like they were all together when they called me, and they just, maybe I still have the video, I may insert it if I want to, but they just called me and they were like, Sister Agnes. And as I saw it, Jesus, I can't believe I'm crying. As I saw it, I was like, gosh, people want to make me to cry, but that was so sweet. Like, just seeing all of them together. I need to wipe my tears, I don't like this. Seeing all of them together at once, talking to me, that was really very touching for me. So, get ready to miss home. Oh, okay. Give me a minute, I'll be back. Oh yeah, I'm sorry about that. The next thing I'll talk about is the cost of living. For different cities, it actually varies. For instance, like for cities like Moscow, St. Petersburg, it is really expensive to stay in such cities. Like, those cities are really expensive. But for me, I stay in Kursk, and Kursk is kind of affordable. It is kind of affordable. An apartment in Kursk costs like the highest, if you can, that you may want as a student. I'm not talking about someone who is working, but as a student, you can get for like 15,000 rubles, and that's like almost $300 a month. But you could actually, on the outskirts, you could get cheaper apartments that are like 6,000 rubles. I'm going to do the equivalent and put it on the screen. So I was glad that I chose a city like Kursk. Because now that the economy keeps fluctuating, it is easier to adapt in such a place. It is easier to adapt here. What else do I want to talk about? I think the main problem I have in this Russia, or the main problem I faced in this Russia, was the language. The language was my main problem. But now I can read Russian and I can understand at least 60% or 70% of the conversations I have to hold. So 60%, 70% is too much, 60. So my life has been a bit simplified. So I just really wanted to chat and talk about my life in Russia so far. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, share this video on your WhatsApp status, on your Instagram, on everywhere. Comment, tell me what, if you're staying in Russia, tell me what have you faced, what's the difficulty you faced in Russia. Let's talk. Tell me what culture shocks you've experienced. And yeah, and if you're planning on coming to Russia, be my friend, follow me on Instagram, and Just tell me, hey, I'm coming to Russia and I watched your video and that's how I know you, and we'll get talking. I'm very friendly. So guys, till we get to see again, this was a cool video to make. I'll see you guys in the next one. I love you. I pray for you that God blesses you and keeps you, guides you, protects you, grants you your heart desires. I love you guys and I miss you already. Bye.
So